This time, we will learn how to compare and order integers. So for example, you will be given with these numbers. So what will you do? So always remember, based from our previous discussion, they can be grouped as negative or positive. And take note, in between negative and positive, we have 0. Just try to remember our lesson about number line. Remember that 0, our 0 here would act as our borderline. And remember that the ones on its right are positive and the ones on its left would be negative. Always remember this one when we compare. The more we go to the right, the larger the value becomes. So let's try one example. Compare 3 and negative 6. Which one is greater? When we compare, a number line will serve as our visual to better compare two different numbers. So this would be a number line wherein 0 is in the middlemost. Remember, this would be our borderline between negative on the left and positive on the right. So first, you just have to locate the two numbers in the number line. So 3, let's say our scale would just be 1. So that's 1, 2, 3. So 3 is here. And then negative 6 here from 0, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is here. I mean negative 6. So, which one is greater? Of course, the number which is greater is the ones on the right. So, our conclusion here would be 3 is greater than negative 6. But there is a shortcut when we try to compare these two numbers. Always remember, all positive numbers are greater than all negative numbers, because in the number line, positive numbers are on the right and negative numbers are on the left. As I said a while ago, the more that it goes farther to the right, the greater the value is. Let's have another example. Let's say we're not comparing anymore positive or negative. What if it would be both negative? Let's say negative 12 and negative 8. So of course, you can still use the number line. Just have to use the number line and then locate negative 12 and negative 8. So as you see here, from 0, the scale is just 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is now the location of 8. As we continue, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12. So here, you can still consider the concept, the more that it's on the right, the greater the value is. So we can easily say that negative 8 is greater compared to negative 12. Or we can use the second shortcut. When we compare two negatives, always remember the farther the negative number is from 0, the smaller the number. So 0 is here. If you compare both, negative 12 is farther compared to negative 8. So we can say negative 12 is less than negative 8. Now, there are two skills that we need to master in here: compare and order. What makes comparing and order different from each other? So actually, they're just the same. It's just that comparing, we're trying to consider two numbers only. But when we have the skill order, that means that we're considering three numbers or more. But still, we are comparing. It's just that it's three or more. So let's try to practice the skill now, ordering. So order the numbers from least to greatest. So we have here negative 18, 7, and negative 2. To visualize what is happening here, we can still use the number line and locate the numbers. So 7 is on the right side of the 0. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then negative 2, that's 2 times going to the left. So 1, 2. And then as we continue to locate negative 18, just have to count 18 times going to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 is here. So how do we arrange or order the numbers from least to greatest? So first, let's try to consider the shortcuts I've taught you a while ago. First strategy or first shortcut, positive numbers are greater than negative numbers. So therefore, among the three numbers here, it's only 7 which is positive. That means that 7 is the greatest. So we have 7 as greatest. So we're now down to negative 18 and negative 2. That means that we will just compare them. Since both numbers are negative, we can now use the second shortcut. The farther the number is from 0, the least the value is. Since negative 18 is the farthest number from 0 compared to negative 2, that means that negative 18 is the least. So, if negative 18 is the least and 7 is the greatest, that means that negative 2 is between the two of them. So that's our answer. Negative 18, negative 2, then 7. Let's have our last example. What if there are 5 numbers that we need to order? We need to order them from least to greatest. 16, negative 1, negative 15, 6, and negative 6. Still, you can use the number line to visualize the location of all of these numbers. So 16 here, negative 1, negative 15, 6, and negative 6. So, shortcut number 1. All positive numbers are greater than negative. That means that 6 and 16 are greater compared to the other three numbers. These are negative. 16 and 6, 16 is greater than 6. So 16 is the greatest. And before it, it's 6. So we're now down with the three negative numbers. So we will use now the second shortcut. The farther the number from 0, the least the number is. And remember, shortcut number 2 is only applicable for negative numbers. Since negative 15 is the farthest number from 0, that means that it is the least compared to negative 6 and negative 1. Next to negative 15 is negative 6, and then we have negative 1. So that means the correct order here is negative 15, negative 6, negative 1, 6, and 16. Okay. What if the instruction would be changed into from greatest to least? So if this would be your answer a while ago, you will be starting from 16, the greatest. Next is 6. Next is negative 1. Next is negative 6. And then negative 15. Usually when we do our test, we separate each numbers with a comma. And finally, sometimes instead of saying order from least to greatest, you might be asked to arrange numbers in increasing order. So that means you have to arrange it from least to greatest. And if it is from greatest to least, the other term for that would be decreasing. Or the instruction can be arrange numbers in decreasing order.